Hello, hello, my friends. It's Aubrey, and wow, we've got some crazy things going on with the planets right now. I know a lot of you are noticing. I've actually gotten some texts and messages from friends or clients that are like, what's going on here? So I totally get it. And I thought it would be a really good opportunity today to break down what's going on and maybe why you're feeling a certain push in one direction or another. Because this juicy full moon we just had yesterday morning, combined with Mercury Retrograde that's coming up and a lot of other big shifts. So we're just going to have to get into it. If you're new here, welcome to my podcast. My name is Aubrey Bahr. I am a photographer. I'm a creative entrepreneur. I'm also a massage therapist and energy work practitioner. So I do a lot around mindset and being able to release our limiting beliefs. And that's what this whole podcast is centered on. But I love to throw in some astrology, some human design here and there. So if this is talking to your soul, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. Let's go ahead and get started because I know the big question right now is how do we feel into this energy and still stay connected to our purpose and stay grounded. So wherever you are right now, let's take a deep breath, okay? Let's breathe in through the noise, fill up your belly, and let that crap go, okay? Today's episode is going to help you to learn to stay sane and centered and spiritually tuned in, even when there's tech glitches, even when there's emotional spirals or shadowy miscommunications that are going to be popping up here in a minute. So first off, we want to talk about the full moon in Taurus. I know it happened yesterday. I still think it's worth talking about because you guys, you can feel this energy a few days before and a few days after. So most of you are still feeling this. Side note, real quick, if you noticed that yesterday you were super hungry, craving sweets or carbs more than usual, and you cannot pinpoint that to your cycle, the chances that you have parasites is very high, okay? Because the full moon, a lot of people don't realize this, but you have less melatonin during that time, which usually subdues parasites. So if you're feeling that way, it's the parasites wanting to eat. Good news for you. I have a super amazing company that I love to recommend for parasite cleanses. It's Mrs. Rogers Hood. I use them. I'm going to be starting my second parasite cleanse here in the next couple weeks. So if you want to join me, I will attach the link to their product and I will give you my coupon code. I think it gives like 15% off. So grab that if you feel like you are ready for a cleanse. All right. So the full moon in Taurus that just passed is like the earth mama of the zodiac, okay? Saying, come home to your body. Come home to what matters. This moon asks us to trade urgency for presence and root ourselves in what nourishes us. This could be emotionally, financially, or even physically. Whatever nourishes you that you're feeling pulled toward, it's because of this moon, okay? So question, what are you building that feels sustainable? What are you releasing that no longer aligns with your nervous system's definition of safety? Because that could be the difference for you, okay? If you've been floating in overwhelm, try to do this. Grab a cozy blanket, light a candle, hold something that feels physically comforting to your nervous system, okay? The Taurus moon loves physical grounding. Let your senses remind you that you're safe right now. And we will be talking a lot about the nervous system today. And honestly, in my client calls, it's been coming up a lot. People are really noticing if they are overstimulated, if they're dysregulated, whatever's going on with their nervous system, they're really noticing it because that Taurus moon just wants you to ground. It physically wants you to ground. So you might be pulled to doing that right now. Maybe you're doing some extra meditations or something like that. I highly recommend allowing that energy to shift you in that direction because it's trying to tell you something. Now, I would be amiss if we didn't talk about Mercury Retrograde coming up here November 9th in Sagittarius, okay? So this is backing up into Scorpio later. But the theme here is reflection, slowing communication, okay? Realigning truth. Okay, let's think a little bit deeper, a little bit harder before we speak. Notably, Mercury retrograde is one of the most, I would say, mainstream astrological concepts that people know about. Like your normies know about this. Why? Because there are noticeably things that go wrong, right? Miscommunications, things breaking, the car breaking down, the microwave, all of the things going wrong electronically. Like this is the time when that happens. And that's okay. It could be a great learning experience. It could also be an opportunity to say goodbye to something. Maybe that's a relationship. Maybe that's a microwave. Nobody knows, right? But Mercury retrograde kind of gets a bad rap, but it's actually here to help us. I know, crazy, right? It's a sacred pause. It's like a cosmic Control-Alt-Delete, okay? A redo. And this one's starting in the fire sign Sagittarius. So you may feel a strong pull to say it all. But my friend, let's pause, let's breathe, and then speak, okay? So as Mercury moves into Scorpio later, further on down the month, the vibes turn deep and introspective, which is really flattering to that energy, in my opinion. So secrets will come to light, your intuition will sharpen, triggers probably rise, but it's not to torture you. It's here to offer release. And with that, I will ask you, how many things are going on in your life that you've been holding on to, that you feel bitter about, that you feel angry about, that you are keeping trapped inside your body for no reason other than to just let it kind of seep there? Because we do it. We absolutely do it. This is a great time to say, you know what? This is holding me back. I'm going to release that. I don't want to feel bitter about how this person did me wrong. I don't want to feel unappreciated and hold on to that because it's not helping my life at all. And yes, I'm preaching to the choir. I do that. I'm a human. I feel the same way when I am acknowledging different things that are going on. It's because I feel them in my life too. And I'm not here to pretend that I've mastered all of this, but I do have that perspective of being able to tell the difference between when I'm holding on to a trapped emotion and when I finally let that go. And I can promise you on the other side of that is something magical. Okay. Without sounding too crazy, it is absolutely a better way to live your life when you're able to let go of those things. So I highly, highly recommend doing that. So for a reset tip, I love the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 nervous system scan. Okay. So before you react to the text or email or whatever, try this. 5 things you see. Okay. 4 things you can touch. 3, what do you hear? 2, what are the smells? 1, taste. Okay, this simple trick brings your nervous system back online in under a minute. It sounds ridiculously simple. And yes, please use it with your kids, 100%. But also, we need to use it for ourselves sometimes. We need that minute to reconnect with our nervous system, to calm it down, to live in that present moment. It's a great way to ground when you can't get your feet outside in the dirt, which is one of my favorite things. And if you're feeling a little bit more like you want to kind of explore this, let's do a journal prompt. Okay, what story or communication pattern is being rewritten for you right now? When I really think about it, I have a couple things I can talk about there. So this is such a great prompt for you to reconnect. And I'm going to encourage you, you guys, whatever you're doing today or whenever you're listening to this, please take a minute and ask yourself that question and see what comes up for you, because chances are there's something stirring there that just needs to be recognized and written about. One little practical thing that you guys can do this week, let's back up your tech. Okay, double check your schedules. because that's a classic Mercury retrograde problem. Revisit creative ideas that got shelved, because it's also a great time to elaborate on those things, to really dive deeper and say, you know what, this has been bothering me for a year. I haven't done anything about it. And Mercury retrograde is a good time to solve those long-term kind of issues that you've been thinking about. Okay. Speak slower, listen deeper. You want to really tap into this amazing relationship with other people. Remove your defensiveness when you hear them talk and just listen to them and ask yourself, where are they coming from? You know, maybe they don't deliver it right. Maybe the way they deliver it actually makes you quite angry. But where's this person coming from? How can I soften the way that I'm listening to what they have to say? Because at some point, one of us has to give, right? That's what a relationship is allowing yourself to also take ownership of something, even when it's difficult, right? And that usually softens the connection between the two people, and then the other person starts to recognize where they went wrong. It's just like a beautiful little flow that can happen when Mercury retrograde often feels like a tug of war. It will just soften that. So another reset tip, I love a good old vagus nerve stimulation. And no, I'm not talking about Las Vegas, okay? There's a nerve. One of your nerves actually goes down into the gut area, and a lot of scientists have been able to connect this vagus nerve with a trauma response or with fight or flight. And a lot of people get kind of stuck in that. So this is a tip to help you kind of pull out of that fight or flight. So humming, gargling, or even singing in your car. Yes, please do it. This all stimulates your vagus nerve. And when your vagus nerve is calm, your whole body feels safer. So sing off key, it doesn't matter. Hum, do whatever, just get it done. Okay? I mean, this is the perfect example of how being silly and childlike often has rewards, and we don't think about it very often. So in summary, this week is less about like go do it, go do the thing, and more check in with your body before anything else. This is a very feminine flow. It's a great way to live in general, but right now you might be feeling really pushed to do it. So this is a great time to allow kind of vulnerability and a flow and flexibility into your schedule. Let this retrograde be a reminder that aligned action always starts with feeling safe, loved, secure, all the things. And for my super busy creatives right now, I know it's busy season, and I always do what I call the Lit Up Collective during this season, because it's a great time to get together once a week to kind of recharge our battery. And I haven't even talked about it this year. So I did it 2 years in a row. This is the first one that I didn't. But I do want to offer something that allows you guys to have a deeper reset, but on your own time. So I am going to be offering something. It's probably going to be like a 7-day freebie for nervous system reset. But if you need a little bit more, okay, if you absolutely know that you're going to need a little bit more, I highly suggest you grab one of my subconscious release sessions. We will tie in anything we need to into that 1 hour. You are going to leave it feeling completely grounded, because we are going to release anything that's keeping you in overwhelm, that's keeping your nervous system in fight or flight. That is such a beautiful thing to do for yourself, right? Let's end this episode today with a little bit of love and grounded presence. I see you, and I hope you let this Mercury retrograde be the sacred pause your soul's been craving. All right, guys, check out the show notes for any of the links to anything we talked about today. And as always, thank you for being here. If this touched you in some way, inspired you, or allowed you to take a few moments for yourself today, I encourage you to pass it on to somebody who also needs this kind of reset. And if you feel so inclined, leave us a review on iTunes. That really helps the podcast to be seen. And that's how we've gotten to be the top 5% global podcast. I thank you guys so much, and we will talk soon.